Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Find Your Way podcast with Dusty. It has definitely been a minute adjusting with the end of year, Christmas, New Year's, the end of year, start of a new year. Kids got the stomach bug around Christmas, had to delay it a week, and then we got sick, and now the kids are sick a second time, and I stopped going to the gym, like the commercial gym, and I've transitioned over to the home gym. And so just a lot of changes. And I haven't been able to, without the lack of traveling and moving, I haven't been able to really do a podcast episode. So wanted to check in and hopefully you are all doing well and making progress on your journey, that you're taking a step forward. I think with the seasonal depression that really hit last year, it was a dark time 1 year ago, because I think about the things that I have in my home gym and the partnerships that I didn't have last year. And so I had a treadmill that I couldn't really do any speed work. Felt like I wasn't working out as much, or I wasn't, it's like the intensity provided an alleviation, that the mental stress of life, there was an alleviation that came, and I wasn't able to really achieve that or get that. So I was building towards that, and I feel like I'm there now where I can. But it's just, I wasn't there. So I've put myself in a better position. I feel like I'm in a better position this year. But the problem is I'm now realizing that this winter stay in, not be able to go out, which so negatively affected me last year, is again negatively affecting, and it's almost like I can feel it's coming, because I just paced a half marathon this past weekend, which was awesome, but with a snowstorm that's just hit right after that, and then with the snow coming in and really not getting above freezing, if you're in that climate and you're used to that, I think because I'm not used to that, and that climate and that environment is just not what I'm used to. And by the way, I'm going to order dinner so you can hear firsthand how I stick to a high protein focused diet. So here you are in the midst. In fact, can I pause this and come back? I think I can. Just can hit resume. Look at that. Okay, so what I'm doing, I go to a local spot here. It's called El Gruo. It's a little Mexican restaurant. It's not a sit down. It's literally you drive in, you make the order, you make a U-turn and go to the other window on the cross of the building. The building's the size of like a one-bedroom apartment. And a little hole in the wall, in the other window, you grab your food. And what's awesome is I order a pound of pastor or a pound of carne asada, and I just get the meat. That's it. At home, we have the low-carb tortillas. So what I simply do is just get the low-carb tortilla, put the meat in there, some onions and cilantro, and high-protein, low-carb. If that's where you're looking to go, that's it. That's simple. But as I am pulling up to the window here, I will pause again and grab my food. That's quick. See how quick that was? All right, it might be a minute, so we'll just continue rock and rolling, and I'll just hit pause if they pop out the window. But so I know it's coming, and I know it's a lot better this year. But and I've talked about this on a prior episode. I've really honed in on the fact that I've worked so hard on my journey of 9+ years, working on my journey in regards to stress being my kind of kryptonite, and me internalizing that stress and really kind of buckling in that I typically stress eat, or I typically cope with food or with some sort of, I dive into something. And so I notice that. I notice how I feel. It's almost like this anxiety kind of feeling. And I get that. I would get that. And that essentially would push me towards, getting 3,000 calories before 9 a.m. And I've worked through that. I've transferred addiction. I've done a lot of work. 9+ years. I've done so much work to reroute things. but I'm still in the midst of, and I'd say this is year two. Is it snowing? There's little flurries hitting the windshield. Okay, I guess it's that cold. I'm in year two. So my son is a year and a half. He's going to turn 2 in March. And we had some complications during pregnancy, but really, our daughter has just such a solid immune system that she just hasn't been sick. She's not someone we've had to worry about. Our son is someone that has gotten sick multiple times. Well, that's kind of transferred the house to everyone getting sick. And last year, back to back to back to back, just constantly getting sick. And when I'm prepared for a child to not be sick, and then all of a sudden get sick all of a sudden, there's just this weight in this stress. And I understand it's completely normal. I'm not oblivious to the fact that kids get sick. And trust me, I've heard stories that every weekend, every week, someone's coming home, say from daycare, and has something. I get it that happens, but I've set a benchmark of expectation, or I've almost like what I'm used to. I guess I've set kind of what I'm used to. But the reason why this is something that is difficult is I can control what's happening in front of me and how I react. But when someone else is in pain or someone else is going through something and I can't do anything to directly make it better, it brings such an uneasiness that anxiety kind of shaky feeling that I would feel before that got me to 534 pounds. I almost feel that again. And I haven't, binged or have gone through a regain, and I'm kind of talking about this post. I'm in the middle of it. Like I'm in the middle of trying to figure it out, because it's like, as much as I have shared on social media, the mental, the physical, everything in between, it feels like everything that I've learned, everything that I've come to understand, that when this rush of stress, anxiety comes in, all of a sudden it blurs everything that I know. And all of a sudden it feels like I don't know anything. And I just have to like I just get that drive that like I need to eat, or I need to have an outlet. And the gym has helped so much in the morning, but there's still the struggle. And so I've conveyed many times on the podcast on how I've come such a long way, but there's still so much more to go. I think I'm always going to have more to go. But I'd say this morning, I said something during my morning run that is sticking with me. It's almost like this is a season where this phrase, which has widely been said, and I discovered this saying. No, it's almost like it reigns true. It's almost like when you're shopping for something, all of a sudden Facebook hears about it or Amazon hears about it, and you see ads for it. It's almost like what I'm going through. The ad is now coming up in everything that I see, and that ad is seek discomfort, like avoid pain. Like, oh, that's going to be painful. I'm going to leave. Like, know the difference between discomfort and pain. Like pain, obviously, when you feel pain when you're working out, you should stop. If you're going to feel discomfort, that's how you grow. That's how muscles, grow, is that there's some discomfort. There's some working out to do, but there's a difference between discomfort and pain. And what discomfort does is that it breeds growth. It breeds you are better off after. And so I'm really kind of in that zone of I've got to learn how to be comfortable. We have to learn how to be comfortable in discomfort. And I don't have that spelled out. I don't have an ebook for that. My practical weight loss guide has been so helpful, and I've gotten so much feedback on how this has been a real guide and manual for so many that are starting the journey. And it's been so rewarding for me to hear it. And it's like I've experienced it, so I have a practical guide to walk you through it. I don't have a practical guide on getting comfortable in discomfort. For me, it's taking it one day at a time, doing what I can do today, and Hey there. I think they're getting my food. All right. And the food is picked up. But I don't have a manual. I don't have a instructional how to. I guess as I'm living it, can I share what I'm trying to do about it? And hopefully that will echo maybe the stress and the weight of uncomfort. So you think about, you lose someone. That's not discomfort and growing. That's pain. And there's a proper mourning from pain and from loss that needs to take place. So I don't want to wrap, I've lost someone or I've experienced the loss and I need to get better and grow. No, there is a perfect place for, it's almost like pain or grief. This is what I've heard. Grief is love with nowhere to go. Like experiencing that is completely normal and supposed to, a supposed to feeling. This discomfort that I'm talking about is a stretching, is a learning, is an uncomfort. It's getting out of your comfort zone. So think about scenarios, situations where you're getting out of your comfort zone. This is the scenarios that I don't know and I haven't perfected how to be in that discomfort and to thrive in it. I just know that I find so much solace and so much help in that there's a community. Share and be honest, taking a new position in March of 2024, this new position had a lot of gray areas. The position I left was black and white, and it went to a very kind of fluid gray area in the job that I am. And I found so much comfort in talking about my frustrations and my discomfort with someone else, and them as well saying, yeah, I understand how you're feeling, or they empathized. And so that's something that's coming to me now that I'm really thinking has helped me, and maybe something that can help is find empathetic voices around you. That we've talked about, surround yourself with folks that will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, but you do need to surround yourself with empathetic individuals, empathetic voices that will say, I understand what you're going through. And I relate with what you're going through, because it just feels a lot less alone when someone else says, yeah. And so whoever you are, whoever's listening to this, discomfort is uncomfortable. Captain Obvious here. It's so just gripping and uncomfortable and bleh. Like that's the best way for me to just, bleh. It's like underneath your skin, bleh. But I'm gonna have to learn how to be okay in discomfort. And I don't know, and I don't have that figured out, but I have to. Because there's so much more discomfort to come, and I've got to grow. And so I'm uncomfortable in that I can't, make my daughter feel better. My daughter's sick, and, I'm working out. Oh, man. Working out in the morning, my wife texts me, and I'm in the garage. She goes, hey, Presley's woken up, and she's asking for you. And so I come in, and she just holds me, and she feels warm. And you could tell that she's uncomfortable, or that she's under the weather, and so she's seeking kind of love and for me to hold her, and obviously that makes any tough rock soft, and so I see that and how it's impacting her. I can't do anything about it, and I don't know how to process that. I haven't experienced that before. I haven't really been close to family in honestly, my relationship with my family is I've managed to compartmentalize them to what I can handle and tolerate, but I don't allow them full access, and that is for many, many good reasons. And so now I have someone in my life, transparently, that has full access to me, that I can't compartmentalize and put in a room and say, I will cut off from feeling. And it's like, no, my daughter's got full access to how I feel, And it's almost like before, when I got to 500 pounds, I understood and I connected with the fact that that feelings are what led me to be stressed, what led me to overeat, what led me to get to 534 pounds. So it's almost like I have now gone through the process of cutting those sources, and now I've got a source that has full access, and having full access, it gets very uncomfortable for me because I can't compartmentalize this feeling. I've got to feel it, and then I can't help, and then I can do everything that I can to make her comfortable, but I can't help. And then the stress of knowing that if my daughter's sick, I know my son's going to get sick, and the worry that comes with that. And so there is so much of vulnerability that I feel that when I'm vulnerable, I get uncomfortable. When I get uncomfortable, I seek something that makes me comfortable, and that's food. And I've known that for 30 plus years. And I know it. My body knows it. My brain knows it. My brain I didn't just get planted with a new brain and forget. I remember everything. I remember I know how to get to 534 pounds. Easy. It's like riding a bike. You put one foot in front of the other, and all of a sudden you get rolling. And I've fought, and I've put in, you think about a base, and I've now taken a bird's eye view and seen access and how things get access to the base and how the base gets compromised. And I have now built up walls, built up security. I just watched Inception. Like, the one guy has, he's been trained in the subconscious. If you haven't seen Inception, it's a really good movie. But he's been trained in the subconscious that if someone taps into your dreams, he's trained to have his subconscious fight against it. If you see Inception, you know Inception, you can see how this relates. It's like I've understood for my life what the compromisable areas are, and I've worked up walls and security to protect myself. And hey, 9 years in, I haven't had a major regain. I've kept it off. I've done a good job at losing the weight and keeping it off. I've built and secured myself in the way that has allowed me to be successful. But now I see so much. Now I realize vulnerabilities, and I'm uncomfortable because I don't know how to build those walls yet to protect myself. And so it's uncomfortable. Like, I've done so much work. I've done this for 9 years. How much longer until it's just effortless? It just won't be. Like, your journey of losing it and keeping it off will never be comfortable. I say that because we don't live in a culture. If you live in the States, especially, maybe it's different in other countries. I had someone from Finland come visit, and it was her and her boyfriend, and I connected with them on Instagram. They were randomly in town. I went to go meet them at a pizza place, and we connected and talked about things. And she said in Finland, it's just not like that with food. The accessibility to fast food, and there's no surprise on why we struggle with our weight here in the States. But specifically here in the States, it's a counter benefit to just go in public. I mean, driving from the gym, I've talked about this on a prior episode, driving to the gym to some other location, there's like 15 fast food joints. It's like, obviously, I'm going to struggle with staying away from fast food when everything around me is like, hey, here. I mean, the caloric depth to restaurants. You get one meal at Olive Garden, it's 1,300 calories. You just want to go out to eat with a nice, friends or family, and all of a sudden you're set back 1,400 calories in one sit down. You got 1,800 for the whole day. In one 30-minute meal, you've sabotaged the whole day. So it's not going to be comfortable because we live in a society and a culture that makes it very difficult to lose weight and keep it off. Because frankly, corporations, food companies make money off of us struggling with our weight. They make money because we dive in and buy food again and again and again and spend so much money on the food. And then another part of it makes so much money in us spending countless amounts of money to try to lose the weight. and these programs and these diets and these, why is keto on labels on the shelves? Because they know there's a market there. Hey, I want to lose weight and I've got to go keto. I'm going to look for everything that says keto on the shelves. Boom. Another thing that makes them money. So we live in a culture and a society that just is not beneficial towards us being successful. So it's never going to be comfortable. So 20 minutes in, almost here at the destination, you've got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I don't know how to do that. But maybe empathy in my voice of I'm uncomfortable with you will help you one day at a time find a way. Another day. The investments that we make now, we take benefit later. I'm going to invest in my 401k. I'm going to invest in this, invest in that. Okay, when you retire, you take benefits. I would say the journey of losing weight and getting healthy and maintaining and everything is like every single day grabbing a grain of sand. Let's say a scoop, a bowl of sand. That's a big beach. A bowl of sand. And every day that you put in the work, you pour that bowl on the beach. And you can't retire yet, and you can't lay on that beach because it's not fully built. But one day, as you continue to put in the work, as you show up every day, as you find a way, you slowly but surely will build a beach that you can lay on and enjoy. What that means is every day that you put in the work, every day that you prioritize your health, eventually you're going to get to a point where your health is in a good enough shape that you're going to live longer and thrive. You're going to be able to do things that you've always wanted to do. And every single day you got to put in the work to build that beach. Build that beach. What a health statement for the future. You better build that beach. Watch tomorrow morning when I go for my run. Hey, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully you're doing well after my morning run. Don't forget to build that beach. For those of you who listen to this podcast pretty right away, you know, and hopefully I don't forget. Like, oh man, you were supposed to say it. Hopefully I don't forget, but build that beach, my friends. Build that beach. Another day in the books. Your beach is going to be plentiful in uncomfort. Got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like uncomfort is like, I'm trying to think of like a saying, like not discomfort. Like get comfortable being uncomfortable. There's the title of the episode. I'm not sure what number, but my friends, thank you for tuning into this particular episode. Thank you for being patient as this episode was in the making. I'm hoping to find a way and really kind of get settled in here to being able to continue to do episodes maybe once a week. But that's it. That's all, my friends. Thank you for your support, not only listening to this podcast, but any of the ebooks that I have listed on my store. That's really a easy way to support me. I don't have any kind of monetization here on the podcast. You have to have a certain level, and I'm just not there. I'm not monetized on Facebook or monetized on Instagram. So essentially anything that I generate to support and to take the time to make content comes from using my code from anything that's on my link bio and any one of the ebooks that I put together. So I want to say thank you if you are one of those that have supported my journey and got an ebook. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the content. And that's it. That's all. I'll talk to you on the next episode. Take care.